Swift Jane.
Hey, this is Roybot, and you're watching The Super James Show.
What's good, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood Super James, and I'm sitting here right now with my boy Roybot, Vaping Roybot, but he was originally known as Roybot Vision, right?
Yep, back to that now.
So how did you get started in this whole photography thing, dude? What did you do? I mean, what inspired you to become a photographer in the first place? Why weren't you a football player or a basketball player? What made you do photography?
I wish I was a football player. My mom wouldn't sign a consent form. I mean, so
My
you
mom
know.
didn't. I got fucked up. So anyway, yeah, dude, how'd you get started in this whole?
I don't know. I think it's because my mom always had a camera. So when they offered photography in high school, I just took it and just fell in love with it. I was like ditching classes to even be in the photo lab. You know what I mean? And even in college, I just took the class just so I had access to a lab and just started messing with photography and black and white film, and I don't know.
When you first started, did you ever think about what kind of photography that you wanted to do, or did you just dive into it and just started taking random pictures of like bugs in your front yard and shit?
Yeah, I just kind of took pictures of everything,
Everything.
everywhere. Like roam around the streets in the city and just take pictures of everything. We were hanging out at a friend's house. I'm taking pictures of fucking the remote control and all this bull, just nonsense.
What was your first camera? What did you have?
My first camera, the digital camera, was
Digital camera.
a Nikon. I forget the model, but it was.
Team Nikon, right? No.
Oh, maybe not right now, not anymore. But no, that's what I grew up on because
Okay.
that was my mom's first camera, and she handed it off to me to learn.
That's cool. So how long did it take for you to transition from being like a beginner photographer to being paid and being a professional photographer? How long did that usually take? What was that transition?
I don't know. I want to say because I always had like a day job, it was kind of slower than maybe most.
Okay.
But I'd say I spent about 6 months to almost a year before like people started hitting me up to hire me to shoot.
Self-taught, or did you actually take classes and stuff?
I took classes when it was film, actually.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm dating myself here, but
Right.
I never got into digital because I couldn't afford it. You know what I mean? And
Back
then
in the
until my
day.
mom handed me that camera, I had no idea what the hell digital photography was like. But then, slowly just kept on going, and people started liking my pictures, and people saw my business cards that were actually my pictures, and people started wanting to buy them.
So I'm a little ignorant to this, but way before everything was done on computers, all the post-editing stuff, were you one of those guys that was in the lab in that dark room hanging
Yep.
negatives on the clothespins and shit? Was
Yep.
it? Yeah? That
Yeah.
was you?
I was the guy that I would make extra money to buy more film by rolling people's film on the reel and developing it for people.
Old school way,
Yep.
man. See, that's what you kids don't understand these days. It's old school shit before these iPhones, before the internet, before all this stuff. Shit actually had to get done. Now you're a professional photographer, right? What is it that you do currently? What do you do right now for the people that are watching the show that don't really know who Roybot is or Roybot Vision? What do you do?
Put a camera to my face and push a button. Nah. I'm shooting for different fashion stuff or fashion companies. Yeah, I'm trying to get into more high fashion stuff. I've always done products was probably like my mainstay. Women's shoes was my first biggest company. It was from Israel. They contacted me and I was shooting for over a year. Every season I just get like hundreds of shoes sent to me. And I made my own little lazy Susan type rotating platter thing. And
So just so that you know, he's not one of those hype boys out there that just picked up a camera recently and just kind of learned everything. And no disrespect, but some of these hype boys are good. Some of them are just kind of biting off everyone else out there. But Roy has been in the industry for a long time, and he's created his own style. And you got to give props to someone like that. So for the people that are actually watching this and people that want to get into photography, what kind of advice do you have for somebody that wants to get into photography that really doesn't know what to do? Yeah, they could just go watch YouTube videos and check and see what cameras best to get, but what kind of advice do you have for someone that's an aspiring photographer that wants to get into this industry?
learn, practice. Like,
Right.
the camera doesn't make you or your pictures. It's how you know how to use your camera. I mean, When I was telling you the story about me selling prints of my business cards, those pictures were all point and shoots. I put them in manual mode and I freaking like just kept shooting until I got what I wanted, and I started to notice what was happening in the pictures, and I just kept adjusting, and there you go.
Did you hear that? You need to get your shit off of automatic and go to manual.
That was the one line, don't use automatic.
Do you have any contact information that you want to give people?
You can follow me on Instagram, it's RoyBotVision, or email me for bookings of anything, roy@roybotvision.com.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, man, this guy just didn't pop up here, man. We share the studio. He has Vaporazzi. Him and I are partners in Vape Foodies, and we've been doing a lot of work together. All of Roy Bot's contact information is going to be in the description of this YouTube video. And I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Super James Show. Deuces.